What's up, everyone? Another Wednesday, another live stream. Welcome. Usually, what I tell people when we start is usually the first 2 to 5 minutes is everyone getting set up and ready. So, if you're watching this on replay, just fast forward 5 minutes. Angel, thank you for joining. Dave, Rose, thank you for joining. Borderline, thank you for joining. Rogue Target Band, thank you for joining. Brian Wagner, thank you for joining.
Oh, that's a good idea. You know what? Hold on 1 second. I had this all set up perfect, and then I'm just a mess. Okay.
I do that every week.
I got it. No, that's not what I wanted. How do I make it?
Brian Wagner, thank you for joining. It was nice to meet you at the Carnival of Chaos.
I promise. I know how technology works. Probably. Nope, maybe not. How come I can't? Can you know how to turn it on a that?
Rogue Target. Our manager Angel went to see you guys. She said it was a great show, so that was awesome.
I mean, you just want to be sideways.
Woodward, thank you for joining.
Are we? Yeah, but I feel like we would be sideways.
Kim, thank you for joining. How's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Sorry, we're
still. Nah, it's usually the first 2 to 5 minutes of every live stream.
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess just real quick, I want shout out to Dave and Rose for an awesome Carnival of Chaos. I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little bit, but that was this past Saturday. Yeah, great experience. So thank you very much, and shout out to all the bands who played and got together and hung out, just like Supersonic Godfathers who just joined. So thank you guys very much as well. And we'll get started in a second here.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys ready?
Chris is grabbing that speaker real quick.
Okay, no problem.
So he can pump up the jams. I'm sad you just said that.
It is important to get people's feet bumping. S. Curry, 202, thank you for joining.
We'll be right back.
Cool. The Ghost of Fukang Walker, thanks for joining, guys. I see you guys are playing out in the West a little bit. Shout out, throw them down in there, and I'll shout out your dates. Mary McCarmody, thank you for joining. We're just getting the Borderline back on here in a second, and we'll get started. Oh, let's see. So yeah, I guess I'll just read stuff right off the top, and then we'll get moving here. Invite the guys back in. Oh yeah, nothing like a little bit more chaos after the Carnival of Chaos on the live stream. Cabal 717, thank you for joining. We're gonna get the Borderline back in here in a second. I think I am gonna start anyway. What's up, guys?
How are you guys going?
Good. The Ghost of Fukang Walker is gonna be playing York, PA, which is Borderline land, right?
York, PA, that's correct. Yep, all four of us are from York, PA. That's right. Cool. Yeah, we all live within like 10 minutes of each other, so awesome. Works out well.
Well, the Ghost of Fukang Walker is coming into town, so I would, if you don't know those guys, I would suggest linking up because we're definitely in the same vein. All right. Okay, you guys ready to go?
I believe so.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Bellwether Virtual live stream where we discuss music, the local Lehigh Valley and beyond, York today, scene, bands, social media, and more. Today is Wednesday, August 16th. Thank you all for the birthday wishes, by the way. It's been a really crazy, busy week, but good so far. My name is Mike, and I'm the vocalist slash guitarist of Bellwether Ritual. I hope you had a good week, and we have a whole lot of news coming up. One of them is we have a gig in Harrisburg on September 9th, Saturday at HMAC, so please come out and see that. It's with Galaxy Has Eyes, Hate Machine, and Brutality, which is awesome. We're super excited about that. And we got new live stream stuff coming and a new bass player coming soon too. So yeah, lots of announcements soon. Like I said before, congrats to Dave and Rose on a great event in the Carnival of Chaos. Both our bands played and had a great time. Great food, cool vendors. I got a cool. I don't know. Did you guys get the mushroom mug? Is that? Did I see you guys?
Yes, oh, dude,
I got one too.
So nice.
It's somewhere around here, but
yeah, I have in my apartment. I have a collection of mugs, kind of like set up on top of my cabinets, and I have it perfect. It fits so well.
Yeah. So picked up a lot of cool stuff too. Yeah. And tonight we have Christian, Brad, and Noah of The Borderline, the band you've never heard of, building a community out of York, PA, which is so apropos right here. We're creating connections on the live stream, which is great. Their newest release, Party Song, is out now. So our manager, I have to say this, guys, when you guys played this, they're like, oh my God, is that song sticky? So it just got like in my brain. Yeah. So shout out there.
Whether you like it or not, it'll be there.
Yep.
That's right.
Dave will vouch for that.
So we'll talk about all that and more. Yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. How's it going today?
Going okay. I mean, getting off of work is tiring, but you know, life's going well. Besides that,
yeah,
we're excited to be here. It's gonna be the highlight of our day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get to hang out, talk about the awesome weekend we had. So yeah, Morbius.
Look, people are already commenting all over the place. So if you see anything, just feel free to read it out loud and answer it as we go.
Okay. I'll put up my phone. That's a good idea. We're going through the roof, people. The numbers are through the roof.
Cabal 717 says, "Love these guys."
I'm gonna do that too.
Wait. Smile. That's all you can do. Thanks for joining. Angel says, "Oh, sticky as fuck, yeah, for sure." And Dave says, "I hate it."
I told you. I love it.
All right, cool. Do you anything at the top? I mean, new single just released. Is there anything else that you want to plug right off the bat?
I mean, if you're in York County, you should come to our shows. We got 2 coming up, actually. Next Friday, we'll be at Love Drafts Unplugged for our first ever acoustic show, as all of us. We did one before for a friend's college party, but Brad actually couldn't make it, so I had my little brother Corey sub in. That was fun. His beats were interesting compared to what we're used to. It's fun time. Yeah, we have that, and then Skid Row Garage will be playing there on the 29th. It is the last Saturday of, funny I said last Saturday, it's another song, but last Saturday of September, and that'll be really fun too. We have my cousin's girlfriend's house, who's coming up from New York, and we have another hometown best friend of ours, Benny O'Kay. We love those guys.
Very cool.
They've half of us have subbed in for their band at one point, so it is yeah, we're a unit now.
Is that I was gonna say we were just going through similar things where it's like, can you fill in for this show or get through 4 songs or whatever else it is? Like sometimes you just gotta survive. But we're right there with you. So acoustic versus electric, like what were the big changes there? Obviously, besides the instruments. I mean, did you have to write the songs at all?
We're currently working on that as well, or actually trying to do like backup vocals and work with those more than we are in our fully electric shows. Since it's a much more intimate kind of show, it's easier for us to connect with the crowd, which is good. But preparing for that, you never really can. So we'll see how it goes. But it should be fun. What do you think, Noah? Staring at me, cheesing away.
Yeah, so I think a big part of the approach is kind of, is we really don't get an opportunity to play acoustic all too often. For the most part, like all of our sets are electric. So it's been fun to kind of pick different parts of the song that stand out for different reasons on acoustic as opposed to electric, and really kind of, honing on those aspects of it. So I think people that have seen us perform or heard our songs before are going to kind of see a different side of our songs to where it's going to make it sound both familiar but unique.
Nice. That was poetry. Poetry just came out of your mouth there. Brad, do you have any thoughts?
Nope.
That
Summed it up pretty good.
Nice. That's good.
And then simultaneously at Carnival of Chaos was one of only 2 bands I had to pick on. So congrats on that. Yeah, that was cool to see.
Well, thank you.
Good.
Let's see here.
I think so.
So you guys are all close to the York area. You were born and raised there, or did you move in from somewhere else? How'd you all meet?
Brad, you can start this one off.
Yeah.
I guess I'm like the outlier of the band. I was born in Baltimore, and I've lived in New York like most of my life. So, yeah, home sweet home, I guess.
All right. Do you know Johnny B?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, my bad. You know Johnny B?
Yep.
Yeah,
Totally Teller.
He's a Baltimore cat too. I think.
Well, he was a Baltimore guy. He was a Chicago guy. He was an Alabama guy.
Shout out Johnny B.
Yeah.
Dude, what a guy. I love him.
Oh, he's Detroit. I should have my bad.
Yeah.
Dare
Sorry,
sacrilegious. Yeah, how dare you? The legend himself. How dare you?
It's good to tell stories about how I disrespected him. Go down for generations.
Well, yeah, so I was actually born in Tampa, Florida. And yeah, you didn't know that? You really didn't know? You guys are
breaking
crazy.
news. All right.
Wow.
Breaking news.
Wow, they've known
Florida
for
band
how
joins
long?
a band.
Oh, man. Yeah, I grew yeah. When I was 2, we moved up to Dundalk, Maryland. We were there for quite a while. And then when I was about 9 is when we moved to York. I remember my childhood home in York was so great because we were right by the Stouffer's factory. So all the time we just smelled cookies in the neighborhood as they were getting made. Oh, it was heavenly.
I grew up close to a vanilla factory, and it was similar on the right day.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Cabal
so-
717. Just really quick, Noah. Shout out from Cabal 717 says, "No, will you have my baby?" And
I mean, that's a loaded question. Like, is there a pre-existing baby that you want me to have and take possession of and raise as my own? I mean, I'm very open to that suggestion. I think I could learn a lot from parenthood and being a father. I think it also contributes to our band in a lot of ways of having, sort of a baby to inspire us and perhaps influence our direction moving forward. So in the band perspective, yes, I will have your baby.
there you go.
Wow.
Is your PA born and raised? I've been here my whole life.
This is what we deal with in the daily basis.
I didn't hear
Oh,
that.
my God. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not very interesting. Just, yeah, I've been here my whole life. Haven't left yet.
Has Preston also been here his whole life? You know
Yeah. No.
that?
He was somewhere before here.
All right, cool. Jeremy Cross asks, "What are you guys most looking forward to in the future, and how do you see the band moving forward?"
Well, I mean, I think we all agree that we're planning on breaking up pretty soon. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to.
Have you heard his responses so far? It's done. It's done.
I think we're over. I don't know. I think we kind of got like. Yeah, we've got like we finished recording and mixing one other song that we're hoping to release in the near future. We've got some things that kind of under wraps that we're working on surrounding it. So I think that right now we're kind of in a spot where we're really sort of focusing on gigs and this other sort of thing we have a brewing. But I think that I'm looking forward to kind of having some time to start writing again and to work on new things. We have a lot of things that have been on the back burner for a long time that I'm very excited to hopefully start playing it live.
Yeah. I mean, So far, I guess looking in the next couple months, we've been talking about doing more like singles, like dropping kind of like on a more consistent basis, as time and money allow. Uh, we're trying to drop more and eventually turning it into maybe an album of sorts later down the line. So we're definitely, working towards it. We do not have a date for that by any means. It is still pretty early on in the process, but hopefully pretty soon we'll have something good. Brad, do you know what's going on in the future?
What do you see, fortune teller? For the borderline. Try again later.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're moving in a good direction. Just trying not to overwhelm ourselves too much, which is really hard when you have like 37 songs in the back burner, work on a different one every week, and then we stop working on it for like 6 weeks, and then we come back to it. It's really works well for us. So
our ADHD brains are phenomenal.
Yeah.
They do magical things.
If ADHD was a band, it'd probably be us.
that's all right.
Borderline attention deficit.
Yeah.
Can you maybe talk a little bit about the songwriting process, since we were kind of touching on that a little bit? Like, you guys have been going since 2018. Do you feel like you have? We're going through this right now. Like, all right, what direction do we want to head here? Do you go through those conversations? Do you just write what you write and see where it goes? How does that work?
I guess it's been a little bit since we've kind of just had like a writing day where we just sat down and we're all just throwing things at the wall, kind of passing the phone around, saying like, all right, type out a verse, type out something, we'll figure it out.
That's usually me.
Yeah. A lot of our stuff comes from stuff I actually wrote like when I was younger. Definitely not all of it. A lot of it is all kind of, I don't know, but it's made by all of us. Like I make the kind of basic chord progression and the flow of the lyrics that I'm thinking of, and then these guys turn it into something that I never would have dreamed imaginable.
I was just saying it's always different. We never cohesively write the same ever. Sometimes Chris will come in with one of his older songs and we'll change it up completely. Sometimes I'll give the guys a demo and they'll be pissed until they learn it because it makes no sense. But then when they do learn it, it turns into something okay and everyone's happy. But sometimes Noah will come in with some really cool riffs. I know he's had some good ones that are on the back burner that we need to work with. But it's just, I don't know, somebody comes in with something and then we just jump on it. Like Arbor Day, that's definitely our favorite song, I would say. That was a cohesive effort to get to where it is now. So
yeah, we
probably
put our heart and soul into that.
Yeah, our ADHD did not get in the way on that one, so that was definitely a victory.
Yeah, I wish we had a writing process, like something that we could be like, okay, guys, now let's begin this phase of the writing process for this song. Then we can take it step by step. But the way it's kind of always worked is somebody has an idea, you throw it around, and then you'll come back to it every so often, and something will click. And then once you have something that clicks, you hold on to that and you build upon it. So unfortunately, it's a very long and grueling process. Like some songs come along quickly, like our one song, Stupid Song. I think we wrote that one in like 2 hours maybe, of where like Chris came in, he was like, yeah, this idea, then like boom, like that. We all sort of felt it, you could see and hear where it was going. But I think for us, that we want every song to be unique and stand out to us, to where if any one of us starts playing something that sounds too familiar, we go, no, that's not it. So it's hard to find a strategy because we always want to try to disregard what we've previously done and try to do something different.
Yes, indeed. Cool Corey B, thank you for joining. Marin's Mind, thank you for joining. If you have questions for the guys, throw them in the comments. We'll get to them. Oh, I'm missing some comments. My fault. It's not scrolling fast enough and keeping up. Weird Homer 2002, thank you for joining. Jeremy Cross says, Brad, we playing Rocket League tonight?
I'm not surprised by that question. And it's a trap because my wife said, he is not going to do that.
I see. I'm just catching up. My fault. I'm behind.
It's all good. But yeah, Jeremy, I'll be on at 10.
Yeah. Shout out, peace out, Kim. Okay, yeah. If there's anything else that comes up, just feel free to read them off if I don't keep up with them. Did you get the Chaos Guitars question here? He asked Brad, when are you impressed in getting rid of the guitar players?
It's a good question. Actually, we're planning on right now. Yeah.
Live on the live stream.
You know, it's been a long time coming, but I think it's about time the band split into the Boar and Dur line. And I think all of us have our own directions we're going to take. So eventually we'll then have the and Boar and Dur and Line as four separate bands. And then we'll reconvene, but I think the order is going to be a little weird, so it's going to be like Line or Border the. I think it's how we're going to reconvene and come back together, bring all those pieces back.
Which piece would you want? Like, what would the piece?
That is a great question. Which piece?
I know what Dave's going to say you two are, and that's going to be Dur.
Dur Line. We'll be Dur Line, and we'll be the Boar.
So comedy is a big part of your band.
It's the entire show. That's all it is.
Can you maybe just talk a little bit about that? Like, are there certain comedians that like you guys are inspired by?
Man, that's honestly, I think we just mess around a lot. I can't think of like any comedians that really come to mind that I like. I'm like, oh man, that one's particularly awesome. I think a lot of my personality is built on YouTubers that I used to watch when I was younger, though. Right. I think that kind of helps build upon this.
We're so all over the place with it. It's like sometimes we'll just be in the middle of a song and Chris will like have a voice crack and we'll just be going back and forth like doing voice cracks throughout the song and we'll all be dying laughing while we're trying to play the songs or you know, we'll make a SpongeBob reference and like think it's the funniest thing in the world. Or Chris accidentally butt dialed the cops during practice, so we always bag on him for that.
Well, he actually did during our last live stream we did with Bro Bison. So during our live stream, oh yeah. Well, sorry, Matt.
Yourself?
Yeah, he kind of. Chris swatted the band. So we were in the middle of performing, and I left my phone in my pocket, and I forgot to turn off like the automatic SOS call. So in the middle of playing, I guess the back of the guitar and my leg, something happened. I don't know, the magic, and I swear, buddy, cops showed up. Yeah, it was not the proudest moment of my life either time. Do you still have the video of me running up the stairs? I'm sorry, it was me. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a whole thing. It was all.
I hear you.
It'll probably get posted one of these days.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Do you ever debate like maybe we should just not release this or like anything like that?
A lot of like random improv we do all through, will go kind of horribly wrong. Like it'll sound really good at first, you know, someone will just play a random riff and we're all jamming, and then it's just chaos. And we're like, yeah, you know, never mind. You know, move on. Let's work on this next song.
Yeah.
We'll just be playing songs and then just start playing other random songs. Like, no, we'll start playing one song and then I'll join him and then I'll start playing another song. And then, no, we'll start playing another song. So we'll be playing like an original and then I'll just start playing Smells Like Teen Spirit. And then Noah's going to start playing some metal on top of that. That's just what we do. Yeah, so we never get anything done.
The Give Christian a Headache game. Yes, it's my favorite. I love it so much.
It's good to have goals in life, right? Brandy Elias, thank you for joining Chaos Guitars. Pardon my voice. It's been a week for sure. Chaos Guitars says, I always walk away from these guys with a huge smile. I'm feeling better about everything. So yeah, very cool.
Oh, that makes me feel really good. Thank you. Too.
I wish my parents said things. You know. But I guess that's why I'm in a band. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, absolutely. It's at like Borderline HQ right now, but I love it so much. It's so cool.
Dur HQ.
Their line HQ.
Their line HQ.
Yeah,
That's just the line in German.
You'll be able to split that evenly.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out how
I
to.
saw that flag when I first got there. I saw that flag hanging out the front of the fire hall, and I was like, I pray that we get to take this home. Like,
Yup.
I was like, please.
Yeah.
I was freaking out in the car. I bet Becky would tell you that I saw it. I was like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
We have a flag now. We can claim.
I was freaking out.
We
I'm
can
very
claim.
excited.
We can claim territory and land in the name of the band.
Yes, that's
Hell
right.
yeah.
We are very happy about that.
Yeah.
Yo, we can use the PVC pipe as our pole. Yes. Oh yeah.
Still trying to figure out how to attach it to my car so I can just drive around with it.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Genius.
So okay. As far as like was there a person or a thing in life that was like the trigger, or a song or something that was like really what got you hooked into music, or how'd that happen?
I do have a story. If you guys have anything else you want to share.
No, you start. Go for it. Start. Yeah, give me time to think.
Yeah, so it kind of really got me into music, at least like instrumental side of like making music a part of my life in a sense of something that I do. Was I used to go to the Ocean City with a friend of mine like every year and his family. And one time we were there, we ended up going out to eat at this like random like Mexican bar restaurant, and nobody was in this restaurant. It was just us, the wait staff, and some dude off in the corner with an acoustic guitar setting up. And so like, we're there like sort of like eating our food, just hanging out, and this guy starts playing music on his acoustic guitar, and we're sitting around, kind of listening. After about 30 minutes, like we're done eating, we keep on hanging out, like singing along with this guy. Next thing you know, we're there for like 3 hours, just sitting there listening to this guy, just playing music and singing. And I sort of realized that night, I'm like, oh, like I want to be able to do that. Like whatever that is, that ability to have these random people at a restaurant just be completely infatuated and really connect on a level with music, I thought was so unique and special. Like literally as soon as I got home from that vacation, we happened to have an acoustic electric guitar up in my attic that my dad had bought like years ago for one of my sisters. And as soon as I got back from that vacation, I ran up and grabbed it and haven't stopped playing since. And I was back when I was about 13.
Okay, yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah, very good.
So some random
For
guy.
me-
Just some random. That's all it took. Was just some guy who
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
was like, wow, like that's really cool what he was able to do and how he was able to just like compel these people.
Very cool.
Yeah, I got that. I don't know. I never really had anything specific that made me just say like, oh man, I really want to be in a band. Maybe I played a lot of video games, so maybe like Guitar Hero.
Mhm.
But honestly, so I have 4 siblings, and all 5 of us kind of created like a family band of sorts. It was very sporadic. We just wanted to play pretend, and I loved it, man. I was freaking out. I played a mean broom guitar. I was like doing solos on my knees with this thing. I'm like brushing the floor at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. I've just always really wanted to be a musician, and then when I started playing guitar and being able to kind of turn my thoughts into music, it was insane. It's so freeing, I think. Like just playing and being able to get the emotion out. So yeah. How'd you get into beating drums, Brian?
Well, say it was like midway through 2014. I don't know. I was always listening to music, but I never really, cared to play it on an instrument. But for whatever reason, there was 2 songs that made me want to play something. And I had already tried guitar prior. It wasn't for me. But it was Fools on Parade by Rage Against the Machine and
yeah.
Control by Puddle of Mud. Those 2 songs, I was like in my new metal phase and like, older stuff phase, and those were like 2 of my favorite songs. And for some reason, those made me want to play drums. I don't know why, but they did. So that Christmas, 2014, I got my first drum set. And yeah, from there, it was just kind of natural to me to play drums. I don't know why, but it was. Yeah, I was never, I never took lessons or anything. It was self-taught the whole way to this day. so that's why I suck so bad.
That's why we all suck so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there really wasn't much inspiration other than I just love music. I wanted to try something, and drums just stuck with me. So that's what I took up on.
Thanks, Puddle of Mud.
Yeah,
Thank
Deep
you.
Pockets Jordan from Geo says Rage Against the Machine heavy metal sign. Yeah, he's
Rattle.
another drummer for sure.
Hello, sir.
Let's see. Christian, can you talk about, like you said, you had your family who had a kind of a makeshift band. Does it make you like a natural stage performer? I feel like you guys are just kind of like lively on stage and off, and just like
It is so funny you say that because I feel the exact opposite. I think all of us feel that same way. I am speaking yourself. Oh, sorry. I think about going on stage and my legs turn into noodles. I'm terrified.
okay.
Like, the idea of something going wrong or me messing up, which happens often, it scares me to no end. And I think, I don't know, I think honestly having that fear kind of empowers me to do it more. That it kind of is something that I can use to prove to myself that I'm, I can do better than what I'm currently doing. You know what I mean? Like, I have always been kind of a shut-in. Like, when I was in high school, I did not talk to people. I wore the same gray sweatshirt all day. I listened to music. I just didn't talk. No one really wanted to talk to me. And then something about senior year, I just kind of, I don't know, something just changed. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be like this anymore. I need to be better. I need to be more. And I became more.
Yeah.
I gained 400 pounds. No. Became more in every way. I'm too much now.
Got in shape, round as a shape.
Maymay2K23, thank you for joining. You have questions for the guys, you can drop them down in the comment section. Can you just maybe talk a little bit about your Carnival of Chaos experience? Like, how'd you get involved? What your day was like?
It was pretty good as long as I was able to avoid that Dave guy. I think everything went pretty smooth. Like, the moment he started walking up, he had that look in his eye, and I'm like, oh god, something's about to happen. But no, honestly, I had a really, really great time. Like, last year, me and Noah got to MC the Carnival of Chaos 2, and I thought that was really fun. And I was not expecting it to get, like 20,000 times better this year. Dave and Rosie, I knew they were awesome, but I didn't realize they were gonna, turn into something like that. I felt really cool being on stage, which was always great. I mean, we got to play cornhole. We were just joking around with all the other bands, getting to hang out and talk to Before the End, who are also York, PA legends that we never really had gotten to connect with.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that we got to talk with them. We've seen, we talked to Edgar Gore, and we played a show with him before. He's really cool. The whole band is just awesome.
We got to meet Angel, and that was wonderful, getting to meet Angel.
Yeah.
A very important part of Bellwether. Got to see Brutality again, which was awesome. That was the highlight of last year for Chris and I at COC 2 was getting to see Brutality and when the early stages of COC 3, like with Dave and Rosie, when they told us that they were bringing Brutality back, we were so freaking hyped for that, for everyone to get to see them. But yeah, our relationship with Dave and Rosie from Chaos goes back to like Scott's Church, playing there up in Lebanon, which unfortunately isn't around anymore. But they saw us being a bunch of idiots on stage, really Chris and I just kind of making fools of ourselves. They're like, these guys would be good to just take up a lot of noise and space when bands are playing during our festival. Let's see if they want to do it. And that's exactly what we did. We were loud and obnoxious and take everyone's attention away from people moving equipment and just took it onto ourselves. And they were like, hey, we liked you guys so much from how much you really made yourself look like idiots. We'd love to put you on stage next time and make yourself look like even bigger idiots. So that's what we did. And we hope that we didn't disappoint.
Yeah, you did it well. I
Yeah.
Rose says, "LOL, that's how we do." Yeah, thank you very much. And Angel says, "Thank you."
No, said.
Brad, how was
Yeah.
your Carnival Chaos experience?
Really good. A lot to take in what felt like the shortest time ever. Cornhole was a nice touch for sure, but just looking around, I mean, you could see just all the effort that went into everything that Dave and Rosie did. And it was so crazy to see just how well everything was put together. I mean, the raffles were really cool, all the vendors. It was just really well thought out and executed. I really appreciate everything they did setting that up and making us feel welcome. It's cool to have our own like VIP lanyards and stuff. Like, made me feel special if I say that. But yeah, it was a really cool time. I would definitely love to be at the next one or any one in the future. That's a really cool event, and yeah, I'd like to go back.
So you and Preston are going to MC next year to see if you guys can do a better job.
No.
I know this isn't going to be a popular opinion either, but I really like hot gigs. I don't know what it is, and just like up there when it's really uncomfortable and hot out. There's just something about like sweating it out for me anyway.
That makes sense. If it's like too comfortable, I feel like it kind of takes some of like the edge off. Whereas like you got to have like everyone has to be present and sort of something going on. Whereas if you're too comfortable, you can kind of just sort of go with the flow and be relaxed. But like I think that I'm sure you experience this, like as you perform more and more, you kind of start to get less and less anxious and like more comfortable on stage. So to have something that kind of like makes you like be in the moment and really there, I think I can definitely see why you would say that.
Comfort zone be damned. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate being hot up there, to be honest. I sweat more than most people, and it is horrible. I had I brought a fan for it to come down because I'm like, I need something. And I didn't even get to use it. It ended up getting used for Brad, which you're welcome. But regardless, like I don't know. I hate being like sweaty up there. I don't know. I feel so self-conscious. I'm like, so.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I don't know. I want to be so in it, but I'm like worried that I don't know. I feel like being comfortable up there, I have a lot more fun because then I can really kind of be myself and be goofy. Because if I'm awkward, then you really know it. Like I'm awkward as it is, but it gets much worse, and it is not a great sight to see. So I don't know. Brad, do you like being hot?
I know my hands kept wanting to cramp really bad up there. It was rough at times. Yeah, it was.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Oh yeah. Well, even when I am, it's just still like sometimes the heat my hand.
That might help with like holding onto a drumstick or something. Maybe you would when it's like cramp real bad.
Do you help too, being sweaty?
I actually prefer not to have like sweaty hands with drumsticks. I like to be able to like have that movement in my hands, not like stick into my hands.
Do you still use that powder? No.
And I especially don't have it now because Dave has my my drum mat bag.
Oh, yikes! Yeah, use this like rip powder for your.
I haven't really used it. It just smells weird and I hate it. I don't know.
Rose says we love you guys. Dave says did not disappoint. Maymay 2K23 says so proud of you guys, following your dreams, and most importantly having fun. Yeah, that's what it's really all about. We have
definitely trying to.
Joining. What's that? Yeah, you get that comes across for sure. Low-key Abe, thank you for joining. Angel says I remember Joan Jett's manager telling the press could stay in the out as long as they wanted because she looked better sweaty. Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm sure looking sweaty worked really well for her, but I don't think it works well for us. I don't think we're on the same level as Joan Jett. That's the personal thing. I mean, I could. If one wanted to argue that we're just as good, if not better than her, then go for it. But I'm not going to be one to do that. I'm not going to be one to say that.
Joan.
You're not going to want
Yeah. Joan Metz.
Get in the sweat off. Yeah. For sure. Oh, in the pit. Okay, Angel says. All right. Um, so like, what would just some of your like shared influences like? I know there's definitely things I hear in there, but like, are there bands that you feel like you all agree on? You know, as far as what you enjoy outside the band, or what kind of influences the music?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, this
It's
interview's
so
gonna be
odd how different we really are.
short.
Like, I don't know, we all have such vastly different music tastes. It's odd that we've come this far, honestly. It's a miracle.
Opposites attract, I guess.
Yes.
Well, yeah. What's the secret there? We talk about that a lot on stream.
Violence.
Just long
Yeah, we had the bruises on. Never mind. But
No,
Anything else besides?
honestly, I don't know. I mean, we do have interests. We definitely have interests musically, but like sometimes when it comes to like picking a cover, yeah,
Oh,
don't let us try to pick a cover.
it's horrible.
That is a miserable time. But I feel like all of our influences, even though they're different, they combine really well to what we do and what we try to accomplish. So
Honestly, I think that helps benefit the band as a whole. The fact that all of us have almost a completely different vision for, or maybe not completely different, but a different idea of what the whole band is. And I think when we get a chance to see each other shine through that, each individual piece, it helps kind of add to the uniqueness of each song. Yeah.
And like the thing about that is what makes our songs kind of unique to us, at least, is the fact that like all of us have a different vision for each song. All of us have such different influences that when we're able to write a song that all of us agree we love, they get so special and unique to where like a song like Arbor Day, where it goes all over the place in terms of like the style of it and what it does, but even in spite of that, of how different and unique it is from like maybe something we've traditionally listened to, it has a little piece in it that all of us really identify with and love, to where we were always excited to play that song. So I think that our differences is beneficial in the fact that like we're not doing the same thing over and over again. Like every song, we're always like doing something new because we never agree on anything. So, and we always want to have our own say in it. But at the same time, it makes it difficult sometimes when it's like, oh, I want to put this heavy part in it. It's like, well, it's not a heavy song. I want to have a slower part. It's like, well, I want it to be slow. This is supposed to be a faster song. And like different vibes that we're going for, to where it can. But I think through that adversity and through that pressure of just like trying to really like break down a song of like, what do we need for all of us to be happy with it, to where it creates a great longevity for those songs, where we always enjoyed playing them, and we're then excited to write more stuff because we found a great success in the previous one.
When you are writing and you're putting these parts in, are you thinking about like crowd interaction, or like this could be like a potential like pit starter of a riff or something? I don't know. How much of that?
Yeah, I think definitely. We're trying to do that more with our newer songs than with the things we already have out. I mean, we're trying to find ways to incorporate the audience's reaction to it, or maybe add something that can be engaging to them, so that it's not really just that, oh, I'm here to see a band. It's here, I'm I'm a part of the show. I'm experiencing it. And I think in the past we definitely lacked with really having that aspect of our performances, and more recently we've been focusing on it, like trying to think like, oh, I bet it would be really cool for the whole crowd to chant this at the same time, right as the song starts, or they all kind of hum the same thing at the end, or however we want to incorporate it. But on the same thing, I also think it's one of the toughest things for us to do, because we're so focused on how we're going to enjoy the song as a whole. We aren't thinking of like these specific aspects of it that you know what I mean.
It has to excite us in a way that hasn't existed before. Like Party Song, like is like perfect for crowd engagement. It's got so many aspects to it that are like suitable for it. So where it's got like a chant in it, it's got a section that's perfect to clap along with it. And so when we write a song, there's always sort of like that interest of having crowd engagement, but we also are very cognizant of being like, well, that's a little cheesy, or like that feels forced. So like the bottom line of it, it's like if it's not doing something unique and something that feels right, then we probably won't go with it. But it's definitely something that we want to try and incorporate more. Like for like our acoustic set coming up, like that's something we want to incorporate more. But if you come out, you might find some fun little things that we do that we normally wouldn't. And I think it's just a whole other sort of skill and way of thinking that you have to adopt. And that comes down to just sort of experience and being comfortable on stage, of like directing people and really kind of, putting yourself out there. So I think that it's something that we'll always have in mind of having that crowd engagement, but we never put it like before the song itself.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess. All three of your brain cells are working really hard to answer these questions.
My three brains are working really hard right now.
You're doing great. That was really
apologies, I know it's late on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Hump day.
A nice meanie, thank you for joining. Yale, Elaine, thank you for joining. A nice meanie says, how did the DC gig come about?
Well, our awesome friends Reese and Jesse from Effigy Entertainment, actually.
Yeah.
We have known them, it feels like, forever. We also met them at the church when they were helping out with sound and the majority of the aspects there. We kind of got an intro to their side of kind of like the band family and like how their shows go, which was a big, I think improvement on all of our views on like shows in general, because any shows that we had done before that were kind of like, I don't know, they weren't.
We made friends with the people that were making the shows happen, which was unique, right? So like most shows you go to, there's a sound person, you say hi. There's a person running the venue, you say hi, and you kind of never see them again until you play at that venue again. And it's like, oh, like they might remember you, they might not. Whereas with Jesse and Reese, it was every time we saw them, they were always happy to see us. They would come see us at our own shows outside of just the church, and they would always like kind of reach out to us and engage. Where it's like, oh, like these are friends. Like it's more than just these people that are running this venue. And I think that from the church, like with Dave, Rose, and Rosie, Effigy, Cabal, like to where these like, I consider more so friends that are also brands that are part of this community, to where it's just been so unique to be a part of this new thing that I think is starting in Central PA, which I think you guys have also been able to be a part of. Like anyone who's a part of COC3 has sort of gotten to feel what's really going on now. Is that like there's a real community of friends that have the same passion and are trying their best to achieve that in all sorts of different ways. And it's been cool to see everyone with their different skills and history come together and to perform that. So with Effigy, we've known them for a good amount of time. It's been awesome to see them grow, and that they have been continuing to support us and have us feel to be a part.
Honestly, I mean, they keep just giving us tips like on the way, just tips about working with management, booking shows, about how to treat the staff that you're playing the show, or for the venue that you're playing the show at. For example, like one that really stuck with me near the beginning, Reese told me that when it comes to the sound person, you want to kind of give them help, because obviously they've never seen you, they don't know you, they have no idea what they should be doing when it comes to your set. So I make sure to write out a kind of a guide for them that lists off all of our all songs for that set, and little like bullet points on little tips like, oh, for this solo, pump up this Noah's guitar, or play lights at this point, or do this. That helps them kind of create a better show for the venue and for the audience that are going to be there. And I've been doing it ever since, and every single sound person that I work with has praised us basically for doing this, and has thanked us numerously for it. And I think it honestly does come out to a better show when you see, going back from the shows that we played before we would do this to now, everything just flows better, feels more full, and it's just fun. So so Effigy is awesome.
There you go. Clip that out.
Great question.
Sure. Good tips. Yeah, for real. I feel like the scene is pretty healthy. One of the things, I don't know, do you feel the same for one? And then how would you gauge it? I kind of use Craigslist, like how many people are actually using and posting in places like Craigslist, like seeing how
That
active that is as some kind of gauge.
is
I
a
mean, you have to
really good idea.
do a couple different things, but it seems like it's relatively healthy.
I mean, even just the York community in general, with even outside of music, has been thriving. Like with First Fridays, ever since I would say about the start of summer last year, when everything started to kind of come back from
Mm-hmm.
COVID. People were like getting out to shows and meeting up, and all these new bands that were formed during COVID were coming out, and it's really just built this awesome community. I mean, I keep seeing all these different bands. We get to meet all these different people from around here, and I think that definitely shows how strong everything is. You know, we're not playing with the same people all the time. We're getting to meet all these new faces, get to hear all this amazing music, and it's so unique that it helps, you know, kind of shape what we can create as well. So even just looking around and seeing how many people are just walking on the street or hanging out at a local hotspot in town really helps show like how big this is really coming, and even more so with the music scene. And you know, I keep seeing all these open mics that are popping up and these karaoke's and all these things that are music related that then very quickly stem into these even more local artists that are like, oh, I want to try this open mic for the first time, and then they start playing shows. Or hey, I'm going to sing in front of all these people at a bar, not really know what's going to go on, and boom, you know, now everyone's singing along with me, and I think it's really empowering for or empowering to see all of this growth in just the past year alone. So I think it's going really well. What do you think, Brad?
I mean, it's definitely grown a lot. Um, Definitely a lot of new bands, which is neat to see. You know, I think even us alone, just seeing all the growth that's been happening, like it came so quickly, like all these bands just out of nowhere, and you know, including us. Like it's a lot to still take in, but it's definitely a good sight to see all the bands that come out, because we even find inspiration in some of the bands that we go out and see when we play shows. So it's really cool to get to interact with other musicians and see the scene grow. It's just really cool to be a part of. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Uh,
really
Go ahead.
tough to not you know, I think it's really tough to not shy away from talking to other bands and other people sometimes. Obviously, you know, I'm socially awkward. I feel nervous when I see, you know, someone just play an amazing show, and I'm like, should I even talk to these people? Like is it even worth it? Or you know, does it matter for that matter? And I think it's helped uh, push me to in talking to all these people. Good ideas. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry, but I'm a mess.
Totally cool.
What was I saying?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the point Chris is trying to get at is that it's an awesome, unique experience that really has. It's been cool to watch something grow and get to grow along with it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Totally. Yeah, what that guy said. Yeah.
See, having good band members is everything. Yeah.
Yes, it
That's a
is.
strong word. That's a strong word.
Adequate.
Term members.
Adequate. Term
Members of the dirt.
Roybo, thank you for joining. We'll have to get you on here. Smile, that's all you can do says, I love the party song. Thank you for commenting. A nice meanie says, any future out of state venues?
Hopefully soon. I mean, we're working towards.
We got DC in September, but besides that, that's about it at the moment.
Yeah, honestly.
But what we're hoping to is just finding like connections like outside of PA. That's kind of where we've been for the past, you know, year. So I think that hopefully, I mean, like Effigy Entertainment has been super helpful in that, and that like that's
Yeah.
where they really come in and like reach out to places and be like, hey, we got some bands, we'd love to get out here, and like really, you know, sort of taking care and building up that relationship with them. And that's just been super helpful. So where I think that in the future, I think that we're definitely going to be crossing some borders. We're going to be crossing some border lines coming up.
Some dirt lines.
Some dirt lines, yeah.
I think that's really going to catch on, guys. I feel
I
good.
hope not.
Our fans are just the Durs.
I think you really
Yo,
got
what's up,
something here,
Durs? Welcome to another show. We're talking about our new single.
We're gonna start.
We think all you Durs are out there are gonna really like it.
If that catches on, I'm starting a fan-based civil war. Boars versus Durs. So it's gonna get bloody.
Are you a boar or a Dur?
I'm such a bore.
Stop being such a bore today. Oh my gosh.
I would never talk to a Dur in my life.
It's terrible.
Doubted
We're
Mouse.
dumb.
Do you,
I'm
see, I
sorry.
don't know if this has
I'm
been
sorry.
asked. No, it's okay. I don't know if this has been asked yet, but would love to hear the background of the band and how you guys met.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Brad, do you remember how we met?
Oh man. Oh boy.
That's a good statement.
I know.
It was 1789.
We worked at Giant.
We
We
did.
didn't really talk.
I saw you maybe twice. I was like, hey, I know that guy who works in the back.
And man, it was me and another wonderful individual who started the band. And I think it was me who asked you to be a part of it. It was either me or said other individual. But
I think it was said other individual.
But yeah, we were like 2 practices into this band, and and Chris couldn't make it because of work, and he got kicked out of the band.
I was in the group chat, I think, for 2 weeks. I got invited almost every day because these were all like high school kids that were doing it. And they're like, oh, you're going to be at practice tonight. I'm like, no, I work. Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden I look and I'm out of the group chat. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is.
And then later on, like down the road, you asked me to be part of your thing.
Yep, I had, so it was probably almost 4 years out of high school, and randomly I get hit up from another guy I went to high school with who asked me to kind of join a band. We created that. It went really well, and I ended up picking Brad because I was like, man, we need a drummer, and we had no idea who to choose. And I was like, hey, I know a guy that I have never talked to ever, but I bet he'll do it. And sure enough, he did it. So, and then, so we were kind of a three-piece for a while. There's a video on YouTube. It's very hard to find, but it's actually us playing our song "Follow Through" at Ruins Park in Glen Rock, and it's like a little music video-esque thing. That was fun.
Yeah, the way so they had a 3-piece band at the time, and the next person to join was Preston, who unfortunately couldn't make it to this live stream. But the way he got involved was that a friend of a friend invited Preston to come listen to Chris and Brad's band and see them perform. And Preston went and saw them, had a really good time. We got to talk to them afterwards and was just talking to them about music. And they brought up, hey, we're looking for a bassist. You know anybody that plays bass? And he's like, oh, I do. It's like, oh, cool. Like, you could just stop by sometime, practice with us, see how it goes. So, okay, cool. Absolutely. So he got home and said, man, I really need to learn how to play bass now.
He literally did not know how to play bass.
He had played the bass for maybe 2 days.
Really?
So,
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Preston and I, we live on the same street. We know each other for a very, very long time. And I had taught him guitar a little bit before then. So he knew somewhat how to play, but he had to go out, buy a bass, and then join the band eventually and kind of just BS his way through that.
We love him for it.
Yeah, and then eventually the previous guitarist left, and I happened to run into Preston at McDonald's, and he said, hey, we're looking for a guitarist. You want to join the band? And I was like, sure. And then I walk into practice, I see Chris, I'm like, oh, I know you. We happened to, when I was a freshman in high school and he was a senior in high school, we took a random intro to guitar class together. So we knew each other for
I was
about...
saying, you took intro to guitar, and I conned the teachers into getting me independent study, so I got to play guitar for 45 minutes every day for my whole senior year. It was phenomenal. And sure enough, this little kid kept going on. He was playing guitar way better than even the teacher out of anyone. I'm like, oh, why are you here? It's so fun. And sure enough, the borderline was kind of created from that. From once you joined, it really
brought the name.
Yeah, you were like, oh, I got an idea. I've had it for a while. Yeah. And sure enough, we played what was it, 2 years in your grandmother's basement before we actually played a gig?
Yep.
Oh,
And I remember trying to find gigs, and it was like Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see if we can get you on. And then just like no one got back to us.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so great.
And then
Trying to find gigs was fun.
Ed Allison, the man, the myth, the legend, who got us started playing. Now has Allison Productions with his brother, his band Lyndhurst, if you might have heard of it. He went to the same high school as Chris and I, and so we kind of knew him through that, and he was the one who really got us out and playing and got us into the community and helped us really start off. So he's a guy who we owe a lot to for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Cool. Chaos Guitar says I can hook you up with someone to get you into New York, which is awesome.
Heck
Rosie
yeah.
says,
That'd be awesome.
yeah. Rosie says
The
boars
Big
and
Apple.
burrs.
Yes.
That needs to be on the back of a shirt. I would agree.
No, I just said it's gonna have to be
You
a
should
shirt.
you should print two
This is
different types
Cap.
of shirts. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You should print two different types, like one with
Oh,
the
yeah.
boars and one with the burrs. Yeah. Which side?
Or a team shirt.
This is a genius idea. I just made the logo twice. It was only half.
Everyone, drop in the comments. Team board. What are you? We gotta know.
It's like Dave's favorite party song is our hate for board.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then the last question of the night from a nice meanie is: what changes are coming that you've been hinting about?
And if I had to guess, I'm thinking you're talking about the videos that keep getting posted every so often. You'll find out soon. We don't have too much to tell about those. They're there. That's all I really can say.
The mystery is a big part of it,
Yeah,
and you'll know when you know.
The change is coming.
The change is
change is coming.
Sorry to be so big, but yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Stupid username, thank you for joining. Stereotypical loser kid, thank you for joining. There's a couple other people. Jeremy Cross, photo, thank you for joining. And Exhibo115, thank you for joining. Guys, we're at an hour already, which is crazy. That just blew right by. Do you want to just plug, right? Just plug all your stuff one more time for everyone so they know where to go.
Yeah, you can click our profile. I think it's on your screen somewhere. You can just click that and find us or if you really don't feel like doing that, you could go to linktr.ee/theborderlineofficial, and you can find all of our links to everything. So that's another way you can find all of our stuff. Or just come to a show and buy some merch. Then you'll remember us
Best way
too.
right there. That's
Yes, that would be phenomenal.
Follow the Instagram, follow the Facebook, hop on our Spotify, listen to Party Song. And
Convince your friends to follow us. Honestly, everything is, any little thing helps, and it is.
Steal your friend's phone and just
Do it.
follow us,
Please.
for them. I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Christian, Noah, and Brad of the Borderline, thank you so much for taking the time with me today, and it was great to see you guys perform at Carnival of Chaos. And yeah, keep in touch, and let's play some more shows together.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you
night,
so much.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.